Okay. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Om.
Om. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Swamiji.
Yeah, Om Namah Shivaya. So, hello, all the translator. Thank you for being there. So you see translation in Vietnamese, Priya Chaitanya, Ananda Mai translation in Japanese. And we have Swami Adi, who is the host, and you have Kumari, the translation in Chinese. And we have, so far now, 50 people. I think we sent the message out quite late yesterday, because the topic of today is about happiness. And I'm sure a lot of people are interested in happiness. So today, here in Đà Lạt, this morning, there was a lot of fog. So we had to do the satsang indoor. Otherwise, I like to do it outdoor. Kumari, please see your message. Okay, Om. Swami Shiva Shankari, nice to see you. So everyone, kindly mute yourself, and then later you can ask to talk and questions. Okay, so we start. Om Sahana O Bhavatu Sahana O Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vaditamastu Ma Vitvi Shabahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bolo Satguru Shri Shivananda Maharaj Ki Jai, Bolo Shri Vishnu Devananda Maharaj Ki Jai. So Om Namah Shivaya, good morning, good evening for you. I'm Swami Sitaramananda, and I'm a teacher of yoga, meditation, and health for almost 40 years, for a long time. So I'm very happy to talk about an essential topic today. And actually it's an essential topic for all the time. Yeah, is our right thinking about happiness. So the idea is peace of mind is happiness. It's something that you really need to think about. Peace of mind is happiness, and yoga shows the way. So this is the slogan that Swami Vishnu Devanji gave to the organization. That means how from understand what is peace of mind, one can find happiness, because we want to find happiness. Everyone wants to find happiness. So this satsang is to remind you why it is so important to practice yoga daily to find happiness. Yeah, and a few important reminder about what is happiness and what is not happiness. Okay. So, are you okay? So it's a topic that we are all the time talking about. And it's so essential, and yet we forget very often time. What do we forget? That the happiness is not outside, but it is within. So the turning inwards that we find ourselves now in this situation where we are forced to not to move too much, and we have to literally forced to turn inward, because how much that you can do throughout the day in a small house or in a small compound, a small apartment, what you do with yourself. So you have to learn to turn inward. But the idea is happiness is not outside, happiness is within. We have been looking for happiness all the time outside. And now is an opportunity for you to turn inward. And the turning inwards itself will lead you to happiness. Oh, this is falling in. The turning inward itself. Okay, so the fact that you are turning inward instead of turning outward.
这个向内观
will lead you to happiness. So what it means, turning inward, it means not being dependent on the senses to be happy. Very important. You want to be happy. We said that turning inward in itself will bring you to happiness, but you don't know what that means, turning inward. Okay, so turning inward means try to find that happiness outside of the senses. What that means? Not dependent on the senses to be happy. The senses are the seeing, the smelling, the touching, the hearing, and what else? The tasting. So our world is a sensual world. It depends on our senses for our information, for us living in this life. So what we are saying here is there is another way of living, or you can reserve a certain time of your daily life to turn inward, to not use so much your eyes, your ears, your taste, your smell, your touch, so that you can experience something that is closer to what you want. Okay, so that's a point number one. The point number two, so we make the point first and then we try to explain it later. The point number two is you need to recognize that when you are relaxed, you feel happier. Okay, not when you are tense. So relaxation means also the letting go. Letting go of grasping. letting go of control. So those who are yoga students, and you know, after the yoga session, and you do the conscious relaxation, savasana, tense and release, and squeeze out of your muscles all the tension. And by auto-suggestion, also tell the mind to be relaxed and be completely detached from the body and the sensation to be alive in the physical body as your body is relaxed, and how blissful you feel in that time. So we need to think about this, that relaxation or the letting go of grasping, even grasping about this life, about this body, leads you to happiness. So that's the point number 2. The point number 3, that the mind, when it is concentrated, will bring about calm and peacefulness. So when the mind is engaged or focused on something positive, then it brings a certain calmness, and that calmness or that peacefulness of the mind, when you are concentrated, leads you to happiness. Okay? So that's why all the yoga teaching helps you to concentrate, teach you how to do that. And now, even in your small space, or whatever your circumstances of life is, if you know that secret, it will be very helpful. If you know that if you can just keep your mind concentrated and calm, because the mind can be calm only when it is concentrated, then you find the road to happiness. So we will talk about that later. But the idea is you need to engage the mind at all costs, not letting the mind wander and be distracted. Okay? So in the situation that you have more time because you are not going to work, that's a very big temptation to make the mind wander. Do this, do this, do this, become more restless. And at that time, you lose your way to happiness. You do so many things, but you feel more restless and the mind is down. So the point number 4 is the yoga asanas, or the conscious yoga postures practice done properly helps you to stay focused and calm. That means if you practice yoga asanas, it makes you calm and it makes you it brings you eventually to happiness that you're looking for. Okay? That's a statement number 4. Number 5, those who are yoga practitioner, you know, when you talk about asanas, you talk also about pranayama. The pranayama, as a conscious breathing exercise, help you to balance your mind. Okay, because the prana is the energy, the vital energy. And the prana is directly related to the thoughts and the quality of the thoughts and the wavelength of the thought. So when you do conscious breathing, you manipulate your breath. In fact, you manipulate the flow of prana, and it's directly influence the working of the two hemispheres of the brain. And like breathing exercise like Anuloma Viloma or alternate nostril breath, very simple alternate nostril breath will bring you to a state of balance and clarity and energy that will lead you to happiness. Okay, so our topic is happiness. So these are the statements, what you can do to be happy. So the number 6 statement is, if you want to be happy, and everyone wants to be happy, you need to choose your food. The food that you eat need to be positive, calm, fresh, energized, and not just only satisfying your senses. Okay? So the positive, wholesome food will calm the mind. How it works. It calms the mind, it gives the prana to the mind. It connects you. It helps your digestive system. So your life has more energy, more quality. So the food you eat is very important. You don't need to eat a lot. You don't need to eat a lot of variety of food like nowadays we do. We want all the time variety of food. In some places, people go from town to town to find that particular specialty of that food in that town. How much have we put energy into, satisfying the tongue or the desire of the mind of variety? But one thing you need to know is if you eat the sattvic or wholesome natural food, you don't have to eat too much, then it will calm the mind, it will give you the energy, and the calm mind will lead you to realization of the happiness that is already there because your mind is calm. So the statement number 7 is about the mind. It says, positive thinking. So if you learn, all these are skills that you can learn in yoga. The skill of positive thinking or emotional intelligence help you to uplift the mind as you know to how to replace the negative thoughts and feeling with the positive one. You have the intelligence to be aware of your thoughts and your feeling, and you have the skill to switch it. So this is a whole topic in itself, how to switch the thoughts. We will talk another time about this. So positive thinking will lead you to happiness. So it is worth it to keep trying and to keep working with the thoughts in your mind and switch it to something more positive, because it will give you the prana, the energy, and it helps you to directly perceive your true nature, that is happiness. So the statement number 8, something that you can do, something that you can train yourself into, And we have talked already about this. So if you please go to the website of the Yoga Farm, yogafarm.org, and then you can find the past talk that I have given, a past satsang, different topics. And you have the last one is about meditation. And then you can start to practice meditation correctly, because when you practice meditation, it will lead you to that joy and to that happiness, to the point of becoming happiness itself. What that means, it means that there will be no separation between you and happiness. You are the embodiment of happiness. This is what we want. The word happiness in Sanskrit is called ananda, or blissful. It's not even happiness. Yeah, it's the blissful state of your soul. That's what you want. Really, ultimately, in what we are doing in life, we're seeking for that ultimate bliss of our soul or ourself. So, okay, we reiterate that yoga is a science of mind, and everything you do as yoga practices leads you to peace of mind, and that peace of mind will bring about happiness. If you directly jump to the search for happiness, unfortunately, we have so many wrong habits up till now of searching happiness at the wrong place. So these habits are very ingrained in our mind. So if we feel sad and not too happy, and we want to be happy, because nobody can stand being sad and being unhappy for long. So we quite desperate to look for happiness. But the problem is we have these habits of happiness externally. Let's say I'm unhappy, then I reach out to the chocolate. Immediately I'm happy. You see, so this groove of the mind is very deep. You can say the chocolate or the sweet or the, you know, or the falling in love. Desperately, anybody as far as can fall in love. See? So this would give you the temporary happiness, but it's not going to last. So the translators are okay? Everything okay?
I think it's okay. Priya said she has poor internet where she is, but everybody else is okay.
Okay. For me also, it says internet connection is unstable.
Well, the sound is fine, and it seems fine.
Okay. Okay, so the conclusion of this introduction is practice yoga every day. Okay? So there are many online yoga classes now that you can join. The Shivananda Organization all over have online yoga classes. So please join. Yoga Farm has 2 yoga classes daily, and many other workshops and meditation workshop as well. And when you choose the yoga class, please make sure that the class has the breathing exercise, the pranayama with it, that it has the relaxation with it, and the awareness. That means some silence, because if you go, you don't have the time to be aware. So the teacher has to be calm and allow you to be aware of yourself. And also the class is balanced. That means the teacher would tell you to do posture, forward bend, backward bend, sideward bend, and so on. Okay? So now we go deeper into the topic. The topic of the happiness is within. So we said earlier that happiness is within. Yeah. So this is a very big statement. Because when we look for happiness, we always look for it outside. In something that we consume, in something that we do, in some place that we find ourselves in. So there is no translation Vietnamese now. Okay. I hope it's okay. Okay. So we get back to this topic of happiness is within. The moment that you don't feel well, and see what you think in your mind. You would think, oh, what I should do, what I should consume, what I should go. Okay? So it's always referring to something external. So there is a story of the lady that is looking for her needle that she has lost inside her house. But let's say the house doesn't have electricity, she lost her needle, and she went outside of the house looking for it, quite desperately, because she needs her needle to make a living. And then you pass by and you ask her, can I help you? Where did you lost your needle? And she said, I lost my needle inside the house. So you ask her, why you look for it outside if you lost it inside? And she says, because inside is too dark. Outside there is light. See? So this is our condition. We look for happiness outside in the world of the senses, because when we look within, then it's too dark. It's like when we start our meditation practice to look within, then we don't know what is it. Yeah, we sit and life seems to be passing by, so many things to do. And we sit, close eyes, and we don't know what is it that we're seeking for. But yoga promised that if you keep seeking for the light inside, even though it might be tedious and slow, but this is where your happiness lies. That means if you remain in the house and you look with the tip of your finger, slowly, you will find the needle that you have lost inside the house. There is no point for you to go out looking because it's not where the needle resides. You dropped it inside. So this is a good story for everyone to remind yourself. Every time that you feel unhappy, don't run out. But know that you need to be patient, and that awareness of what is blocking your thinking is that which will lead you to eventually removing the blockage or the wrong thought, and it makes you feel stronger, makes you feel somehow more uplifted every time that you can become aware of the negative or the blocking thought in your mind. So you look within in order for you to be aware. So somebody is complaining that they cannot hear the translation in Vietnamese. Okay, so please solve the problem. Okay. So Swami Shivananda gave you more teaching. He gave you the analogy of the deer running around looking for the smell of the musk. The musk is the smell that comes from the sweat of the deer. So it comes from his own body, but he thinks it's somewhere. So he keeps running around looking for the smell that comes from his own body. So what we are saying here is the contentment, the happiness, and the freedom is from within you. But you are looking in vain outside. Swami Shivananda gave you another example of a lady that is looking for her chain that she has in her neck. Or me, sometimes looking for my glasses that I have. I wear my glass, but I look for my glass. So we are looking for something that is already there. Okay? The other idea is the diamond is within you, which is the happiness. And we are going out looking for the broken glass pieces. That means, you know, you get the ice cream, you get the temporary, you know, sensual satisfaction, whatever you can come up with. It's not equal at all to the bliss of your soul. So Swami Shivananda compare that to the broken glass compared to a precious diamond. Okay? So the bliss of your soul is actually much, much more. So he said the ocean of bliss is within you. He compared it to an ocean. That means unlimited, a lot. The fountain of joy is within you. But you run here and there looking for it. He said the sun of suns is shining within you. The sun of suns. Imagine the sun has so much energy, and this is the sun of the suns, bigger, more powerful, is within you. But your blind eyes cannot behold it. Why we cannot recognize that bliss of our soul? Because we are blind. In yoga, we call it, our ignorance. We look at the wrong place. We have wrong habits. So just a moment, please. I need you here. You need to be visible, okay? I need hot water. I'm healthy. I need hot water. This is not hot enough. It's okay, but you need to be visible. Okay. Are you okay? So it feels like preaching, talking about this topic. But it's something that is so essential that we don't think about it. It's our tendency to look for happiness outside. We become very restless. And why we are restless? Think about this. Why you are restless? You are restless because you think that there are a lot of things to do. A lot of experiences to have. So you are frustrated now that you are in quarantine. Or even those who are not in quarantine, you are somehow limited. In your choices. And you are frustrated because you feel that you cannot satisfy your desires. You become restless because you imagine in your mind a lot of experiences that you should have. A lot of things to do. You have a long list. I like to try this, I like to try this, I like to go here, I like to go there. So in yoga, we call the organs of action, the hands and the feet are very restless because the mind is restless. That's why you are not happy. Always there is some mirage somewhere else, like you are in the desert, you feel thirsty, and you think that the water is 15 minutes away. And now you found a shade. You found a tree. But then the water is 15 minutes away. So your mind is thinking, should I go for the water? But I lost the shade. The shade is like a person that found yoga. And the water is like the idea that I need to go here and go there and I do yoga later. But then you walk 15 minutes, the water is still 15 minutes away, and the shade is 15 minutes back. Then again, you walk for 15 minutes, and the water is still 15 minutes away, and the shade is 30 minutes back. So that's the illusion of the mind, constantly saying there's something more important to do or to experience than the inner experience or the seeking within. But if you stay still, then there is water under the tree. If you dig right there, there is water under the tree that will quench your thirst. So the story is just to illustrate that our mind is so ingrained, you see, in a certain habits and promising always the happiness somewhere else. Okay? So think about this. Satisfaction of desires will not bring happiness. So this is something that we need to think about, because maybe we don't agree, because many times we satisfy our desire and we feel happy. But in the long run, again, we have a new desire, and again, a lot of effort to attain this desire, and again, happy, not happy. So if you look, then you see that desire is insatiable. That means you can satisfy the desire, but when you satisfy the desire, you strengthen yourself, unfortunately, again, in the habit of running after desire to find happiness. So that mechanism itself of strengthening that outward looking, that illusion mind, so that is the problem. So that's why desire is insatiable, because it will create new desire, because the mind is kept going in the wrong direction. So that's why it is good to recognize that and to temper or control this seeking for satisfaction of desire and yielding to this strong impulse within us. So desire refers to our emotions. So this is called emotional intelligence. So there is research that they put some children in a room, and there's an observer, behind the glass door so people don't see. And the idea is they put a cake inside the room, and whoever that can resist the eating of the cake then will have some kind of gift or cake or whatever, and then they observe and they see some children. One, the moment that the door closes and they are with the cake, they will jump into the cake without any resistance and eat the cake right away. Instant gratification. Then another kid will be resisting. Yeah, he would bite his finger, he would just try to hold himself, resist. And then there are those who completely resist, turning away, closing eyes, not seeing the cake. And then they observe these children, later on when they grow up. And they see those who are searching for instant gratification and have no control. They are not doing so well in life because they are not so emotionally intelligent. And the other one that is able to more or less control their mind and emotions in face of temptation, they will be more successful in life. Okay? So the idea is not to run after the emotional impulse. Yoga and meditation help you to calm the mind, to slow down or stop that process of running after desires and help you to look within for answers. Okay, so in order to help you to do that, you need to think. Yeah, your mind would, when it wants something, it would just create the whole story about that thing. You know, how it is justifiable that you would go out now and buy for that ice cream box, no matter what. Okay, so we need to remind ourselves how many times that we have found ourselves disappointed because you have satisfied the desire and we feel empty and unfulfilled. So then we can assume that it is the object that is not giving the satisfaction. It's the wrong kind of ice cream. That's why I'm not so satisfied. So then you think of another kind. So this is how the mind works. And you observe for a moment and you see the mind is doing this. So you always kind of find fault with the object, thinking that it's the object that is not perfect. That's why you are failing to find happiness from the object. But you never really question that it is just the mind. Yeah. And then you have stomach pain, you have diarrhea from eating ice cream. And you say, oh, no more. For some time. Next time come along, again, you are not seeing me. Can you please? I need hot water. So then, next time come along, your mind will come up again with the idea of ice cream. But this time, a different kind of ice cream that just come out of the market is very different. It has a very good name, good color, and perfect. And you say, oh, I did not try this one yet. And you expect to find the same happiness from the ice cream. So your mind is very clever, constantly labeling and giving different excuses, different ideas to attract you to the same central path. Okay, so part of the technique to help to slow that mind down is to remember your disappointments from past. Remember that you have done this. You've been here, you've done this. And it did not answer your quest. So now you would become more inspired to find another way. And yoga shows you the way. So you know, to illustrate the idea, the story of Elizabeth Taylor, that is an actress. She passed away now, but she's famous for having 8 husbands and also many diamonds collection. And so the story is, you know, she is, you know, unhappy with the husband. So that's why she thinks that another husband will be better. That's how she can go and change husband so much. You know, 7, 8 husbands, yeah, and jewels and diamonds and so on. So maybe she can afford it. But you look at yourself, it's the same thing. But that's what we do. We're constantly changing external objects, thinking that it will make us happy. So the idea is we need to let go. We need to learn to let go. We need to learn to relax. Because this running after desires and this restlessness of mind makes us feel very tense. And you cannot be happy when you are tense. So we need to learn to let go, to relax. Savasana, the posture of relaxation, you can do it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times a day. You just have to learn how to do. Put yourself in the right pose. Condition your mind. That's what you're going to do. Tense release muscles and scan your body, head to feet. Use auto-suggestion. You can have a teacher that will lead you through the relaxation or the deep relaxation or the yoga nidra, the deep relaxation. But you also can do, it will lead you to that calming of the mind of all desires and this false identification of the mind with your body and mind. And it allows you to get in touch with the deeper sense of well-being that is within you. Relaxation means ceasing to be restless. Okay, so that's what it is. Ceasing to be restless. And letting go of our attachment and desires. Okay? It is surrendering ourselves and accepting our inner self. And realizing that it is perfect. So in the yoga class, we are not just only doing relaxation, but sometimes you have so much energy in the mind and in the body that we cannot relax. So that's why the sequence of the asanas, along with the breathing and the relaxation in between, is very helpful because it moves the energy so the energy is not stuck. Then it allowed the relaxation to be deeper. And it frees you from the attachments and the desires that is numerous in the mind. So I give you another story illustration is a story of this monkey that want to get some cookie in the cookie jar. The cookie jar has a small neck. So he put the hand in the cookie jar, he grabs the cookie, and he tried to pull his hand out with the cookies, but then his hand gets stuck in the neck of the cookie jar. So he's very unhappy, imagine, because he already touched the cookie. His mind already feels that he's going to consume the cookie. And now his hand is stuck. So he has his hand in the cookie jar, holding to the cookie, and jumping around and try to shake his hand so he can be free, so he can get his cookies, imagine. But he cannot do it. His hand is stuck in the neck of the cookie jar. So the only way how he can be free is to let go of the cookies. But he doesn't want to let go of the cookies. So he gets stuck. So this story just shows our condition. We are so stuck with our desires, and we are in this predicament, wanting to satisfy our desire, and at the same time feeling quite miserable, because with the satisfaction of desire come many other conditions that is quite difficult, but we don't want to let go. Yeah, so that's the story of our attachment, of the suffering that comes from the attachment, the suffering that comes from following the habitual thought pattern of wanting to be happy in the wrong place, but cannot let go because we feel so desperate. Keep thinking that this is the way. But it is said, if you do something wrong and you do it again, the same thing, and you expect different result, it really doesn't work. You have to think of a different way how to get to that happiness. And yoga teaches you that way, how to get to the happiness. In whatever condition that you find yourself in, because it's the same mind. Whatever condition is the same mind that you have. Either you are free moving about, or now you're contained in one place. It's the same mind. Yeah, the mind that is looking for happiness outside, that has many desires, and the mind that doesn't want to let go. So now, a very important point, how yoga will help you to find happiness. So the whole practice of yoga is turning around the idea how to reduce the number of thoughts in mind, how to elevate the mind by concentration that will allow you to realize the true happiness within. So the different yoga techniques are only helping that. The reduction of thoughts and desires in the mind, and thus the realization of the happiness that is within. So you need to observe the mind and see the relationship between your mind and the state of happiness that you feel. Okay? to find happiness, you can change your state of mind. So that's the promise of yoga. If you change your state of mind, then you find the happiness. So it's in your hands. You can do that. Not maybe immediately, but yoga trains you. So those who start yoga, it's not just one experience one time. It's something that you need to do it again. So that's why I promote that you do yoga daily. Because the mind is very unruly and a lot of things can happen in one day. So you need to counteract that mind by the practice of yoga every day. If you can do 1 hour a day, 1 hour and a half, 2 hours a day, or 2 sessions a day, 2 hours, plus the meditation, that will be wonderful. You will be able to turn around that mind. And eventually you'll find that peace that seems to be unattainable before. So do practice of yoga regularly, not missing, to control the mind and to turn the mind within. It's a big, big difference. Okay, so now the yoga teaching gave you the description of the different state of mind, depending on the level of concentration. So concentration means holding one thought in the mind for a period of time. Okay, so normally the thought will jump from one thought to another. And now one thought and the same thought next moment, and same thought next moment, same thought next moment is called concentration. And you better find the thought that you hold in mind, a positive thought. That means you need to concentrate on something worthwhile. Even though the mind that is concentrated, no matter what it concentrated on, will bring you some level of peace. But it's good that you concentrate on something that is better, positive thought. If you think of banana, 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 you concentrate on banana, you might become a banana. That means whatever you think about is what you become. Okay? So choose well what you want to focus on. Okay, so from the understanding of yoga, there are different 5 states of mind. Okay? So you know the first one, that is a state of dullness, when the mind is dull. It has no energy. It has no concentration. It's like the state of mind when you wake up from a nap in the afternoon. Yeah, you feel very heavy, and somebody come and ask you something, and then you would, you are annoyed, you don't answer, you find fault of everything, you are dragging your feet, you are, we call tamasic, or kind of depressed, half dead kind of mind. Okay, so if you want to be happy, avoid to be dull. You get that? In all conditions, every day of your life, avoid to be dull. Yeah, avoid to be dead. To avoid that state of mind that is inert. I mean, it can move. So that's why yoga promotes that you don't take drugs, you don't take alcohol, you don't take anything artificial that give you some high and then after it knock you down. in the state of dullness. And yoga promotes that you keep your mind all the time awake and calm and moderate and not distracted. So the mind, that is, if you are exhausting yourself in whatever you do, then your mind will fall into the state of dullness. And the rule number 1, avoid to be dull. You get that, everybody, please? It's so important. Simple rule, but so important. If you find your mind dull, do something immediately. Keep your mind focused on something. Either read a book or do something, your favorite thing, play a piece of music or something. But don't allow your mind to drop dead. Don't allow your mind to go to that place of darkness. You see, sometimes you indulge in the negative thoughts and you become dark and you become depressed. You feel like the life is being pulled down, that feeling of heaviness, downward. Okay? And that mind that is constantly denying anything positive in your life, denying your source of happiness and light within you. So that is the first state of mind that you need to avoid. If you find yourself in that state of mind, immediately do something. Okay? So what do you mean do something? Move. That's why asanas is very important. Taking a nice walk, taking a shower immediately. And you need to shake yourself out of that state. Yeah, of like boom, pulling down. Okay, so let's say you are in that state of kind of sleepiness and depressed. Try to find something that you are interested in and focus your mind on it. And then your mind will pick up immediately. It would change, like change gear. And you feel better immediately. Okay, so that's a good training. And to avoid to fall into that state, you need to avoid to fall in the past. You need to keep the mind alert to be in the present. Okay? So the dullness oftentimes comes from the living in the past. When you live in the past, then it's not very demanding or requiring you to make any decision or do anything, because the past is past, so you are not responsible. Yeah, so the only thought that can come from the past is the thoughts of regret or the thoughts of things could be better, but you cannot do anything about it because it's already past. So that will bring you to dullness. So try to be in the present. So in this, if you are in quarantine or somehow limited in your movement, or if you are sick, so you might face some periods of time when you go through this immobility, you cannot move. That makes the mind dull. So this is a very big danger. I try that we need to really avoid to fall into the state of dullness. But in the state of when you don't have work, you don't have the same habit, you cannot exercise the same thing that you like to do, then very often time you can fall into the state of dullness. So that's why you need to be now very creative. To learn new things, you can learn new language, you can learn, concentration on a sound, we call mantra, sacred sound, pure sound, or concentration on an image, sacred image, we call yantra, or you can simply do some work that required your concentration. There's a lot of things that you can do, but don't just sit around and hang around and become lazy and become dull. Okay, that is something is a no-no. If you want to be happy, it's a no-no. So you need to count on your self-motivation. Yeah, not motivation that come from external. Okay. Self-motivation, even though you don't have work. Okay, so you have to be the boss of yourself. When you go to work, somebody is your boss, so you feel responsible, you have to work well, but now you have to be the boss of yourself. You have to keep yourself busy and doing a good work, yeah, not sloppy, because if you are the boss of yourself, you can become sloppy, yeah, and that is called, you know, tamasic, not focus. Okay, so you have to learn to be focused and more focused. That's the secret of yoga. The second state of mind is to be avoided as well. It's called the scattered state of mind, jumpy state of mind. Okay, that will lead to unhappiness. The more that you jump, the more that you're unhappy. Okay, so yoga says less thoughts in the mind, more peace you have. More concentrated state of mind, more peace you have, more happiness you have. So you need to mitigate this state of mind that is jumping, that is restless, that we talked about earlier. So when you're doing that, try to concentrate on something that the mind likes. Yeah, your mind has its own preference, what you like, what you not like. Okay? So when you concentrate on something that you like, it is easier. Okay? So like a musician can concentrate on some notes for a long, long time. And I'm not a musician. I cannot do that kind of focus. Yeah. So focus on something that your mind likes. Okay? It's easier. A person that is a more visual person, it is two types of mind, the visual kind of mind and the audio kind of mind. Okay? Because the mind works with name and form, with sound and image. So if you are a visual person, and you can focus on image. Okay, so that's why you can do this called sacred mantra, yantra, sacred image. Yeah, drawing, but very focused manner, in a meditative manner, some sacred geometrical figure. I think the ashram here will teach that session very soon. Then you will bring peace to the mind that is more visual in nature. But some people are more audio person in nature, and at that time you can concentrate on a sacred sound, a mantra, or some chanting, kirtan, because these are not just normal sound. Yeah, of course, any kind of sattvic, beautiful concert you can focus on, but also use this called mantra. Okay, there's whole science of this pure sound combination or sound formula that is vibrating in your own inner energetic body. Okay, it's a miracle of sound. So you can try to explore this, and you can play the music of the mantra in your house all the time, so that your mind can focus on it and the groove of that mantra become very deep. Like I suggested another time, that you can listen to the Om Triambakam mantra, Mahamrityunjay mantra, that is the mantra for healing and protection. So this is a very good mantra that you can listen to every single day. Yeah, it creates the habit of the mind to be focused on something positive. So we talk about this scattered state of mind that you try to avoid, the mind that is jumping, and we try to focus it. Okay, so the key is always focus. If the mind is dull, focus, then it change vibration. If the mind is scattered and focus, then it change also. Okay, and to be focused, it means that you need to lead a simple life. Yeah, not trying to find variety. This is the mind that is scattered. We want to find variety all the time. Yeah, every morning you have to choose between 100 dresses to wear. And the mind become more distracted and scattered. Yeah, so try to lead a simple life. Less stuff, less thing to worry about, more focused the mind will be. Yeah, the third state of mind is something that you like to be cultivating all the time. So we said this dull state of mind, completely avoid. The scattered state of mind, try to control. And now the third state of mind is gathering state of mind. It's that mind that make the effort to concentrate. Okay, so that state of mind is something that you can write on for a yoga practitioner. Then it will bring you to the state of one-pointed concentration. This is what you really want. But at least to get to that one-pointed concentration, you need to work on the gathering of the thoughts. I mean, constant. Yeah. So I gave an example, but I don't know if you can relate to this. Is that the story of the mother hen and her chicks, you know, the yellow small baby chicks, yeah, and they all the time, you look at them, yeah, they all the time, they run all over the place, the chicks, and the mother has like cook, 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 and bring the chicks together, and then they come together and whoops, they again go all different direction, and you have to say cook, 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 and then it comes together and again and like that. If you observe the mother hen and the chicks, so the same with you, your thought is like that. They are like your children, but they have tendency to be distracted. They just run like this. Yeah. So you have to be like the mother hen, constantly gathered. Yeah? Pull it together, pull it together. What I'm doing now. Yeah. Don't let the mind go off. So try to achieve that third state of mind, the gathering state of mind all the time. Okay. So if you are a person that have a job, a steady job, hold a profession, and you have a livelihood, so most likely your mind is in that gathered state. You know that gathered state, because if you don't, you are not able to gather your mind, you will not be able to hold any job. Okay, but the question is now we don't have the job. We cannot gather the mind through a job. So then, like I said earlier, you would have to be self-motivated to find something for you to keep focusing on. Okay, so even though you have more time now and no pressure, yeah, maybe you have other kind of pressure because you feel worried and so on, you know, but still to deal with all these different states of mind, including fear, including worry, including worry about survival, about the future that is uncertain, yeah, and regretting whatever and feeling grieving about whatever you didn't have. All this state of mind can be overcome if you keep the mind focused on something positive and keep gathering the thoughts and don't allow your mind to run off, and keep gathering the thought in the here and now and in something that is positive, such as a mantra you can do. Okay, so remember that it's an exercise. I mean, it's something that you don't just do one time. You just keep doing it, and the more you do it, the muscles of your mind become strong. I mean, you become more steady and steady and steady and steady. Okay, then it will be easier. It's like building up muscle, it's slowly every day, and then you become stronger, and you can help the people that you live with to also be concentrated. When you become concentrated, you will help them also to become concentrated. Okay, maybe they are distracted and they want your company or something to be distracted with them. But if you keep focusing, then they also will become focused, and it helps them. So a healthy mind is a gathered and a concentrated mind. So you want to be in that state of being healthy. Okay. And now the one-pointed state of mind that I was talking about, and makes you immediately feel like very blissful, and you remember the story of Elizabeth Taylor and husbands that I just talked about. So these we can imagine the scene of of Liz being again moody, and Richard Burton, who is the husband, is very much worried that she's unhappy because she already divorced him one time. He married her twice. So that's the scenario. Then he went home, she's unhappy. He thought that he had to make her happy, otherwise she will divorce him. So then he thought to buy the biggest diamond, because she always talked about wanting to have the biggest diamond. So he wanted her to be happy. He brought the diamond, and then the diamond is in the box. And then he went home and she said, Liz, close your eyes. And he opened the box. I have a gift for you. He opened the box and she looked at it. And she becomes so thrilled, so happy, looking at the diamond. Yeah, diamond. At that time, she forgets everything, including Richard Burton, who brought the diamond, and asked if all her senses are on the diamond. And she becomes extremely happy. So you can relate to that because you have gone through a period like that. So the thing is, she attributes the happiness to the diamond because she is moody, unhappy, diamond comes, she becomes instantly very happy. So diamond equal happiness. Yeah. And the next time around, a week after, and again, she's in a moody state. And again, Richard Burton thought, oh, last time it worked, so let's bring the diamond. So he brought the diamond again. Liz, I brought you the diamond. And she looked at it. Something has changed. She is not so happy like the first time. So the question is, why? The same diamond, the same Elizabeth Taylor. Why? 1 week difference. Before she was so thrilled, so happy, and now not so happy. Yeah. So she thought, oh, maybe it's a diamond, whatever. Yeah. So then he bought for her a new thing. And again, she's happy, and again, she's unhappy. And a new thing, like a car or coat or whatever. And she's happy and unhappy. That same phenomena happened. And we always think that it's the object. Something is wrong with the diamond. Something is wrong with Mình quote, something is wrong with the sports car, something is wrong, something else. So then we carry on, changing objects, find some bouts of very intense happiness, and then again, not happy. So again, trying to change the objects to get that happiness to be lasting longer by changing and changing and changing. That's why the mind falls in the trap, and it's always changing to find this little bit of happiness when you attain the object of desire, but then it did not last long. So we learn from this because we have the same mind as, the actors. Our mind is constantly attributing to something external, but our mind did not understand that because she's in that state of one-pointed state of mind, when the diamond is being brought, then her mind, because she's conditioned in her life, Hollywood life, thinking all the time about, limelight and diamond equal happiness and attraction and everything else. So when the diamond comes to her with her preconditioned state of mind, she can really focus on it and suspend her thoughts. See, when she look at the diamond, yeah, she even suspend her breath, and she really intently looking, and all her thoughts stop. Yeah, her mind is very, very focused. At that time, she feels intensely happy. Okay, so the idea is, if you can achieve this state of mind that is concentrated, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just concentrate that mind, yeah, then you will find that happiness. It's not the object, it's not what you do that gives you the happiness. This is something that we think wrongly. Yeah, it's not the object, it's not the condition, it's not what you do, it's your state of mind. You can be washing dishes and be so focused and is so happy. So try to bring that state of mind, that concentrated state of mind. Sometimes people say the mindfulness state of mind in every activity in your life. Yeah, even though you might think that it's insignificant, washing dishes is insignificant, sweeping the floor is insignificant, washing the staircase, yeah, but if your mind is focused, concentrated, whatever you do, you will feel peace and happiness. So remember, next time, when the mind wants to go back and seek happiness in sensual objects, you need to recall the true source of happiness, which can be seen only when the mind is concentrated. In the same manner, a true mirror or a calm lake can show the image of your true face. And of course, there is a fifth state of mind, the absorbed state of mind, which is a state of transcendence, which is a state when you are successful in your meditation. Okay, so we are not talking about that too much. We talk about the other state of mind, yeah, the more dull state that we are facing, the scattered state of mind. And what we want to cultivate is a gathered state of mind, and eventually the one-pointed state of mind. Okay, so now, okay, it's a so simple topic, but it takes so long. Now it's already 9:30. Yeah, but we will come to a few more. If you're okay, we come to a few more thoughts, and then we can stop. Okay, so now I want to talk about the practice of balancing the mind between the two poles of likes and dislikes of the mind. You do that in order for you to find happiness. Okay, So what that means, you have to recognize that your mind is conditioned from the past emotional habits. Like we talk about Liz, yeah, the actress, that has the emotional habit about, you know, liking diamond. But if you follow your emotional habit, either you like something, you keep following what you like, or if you dislike something, you also keep running away from what you dislike. So you need to observe that swing of the mind between likes and dislikes. And you need to train your mind. It's again talking about training. You need to train your mind to be free from these habits. So remember, the more that the thought is repeated over time, the deeper the impression produced on the mind. Okay, I repeat again. The more that the thought is repeated over time, the more it will create a deeper impression on the mind. The deeper the impression, the more the mind will settle down on the impression or the habit. So that's why a habit gives a false sense of security. Because you feel stronger when you do something habitual. You feel stronger. So your tendency is to keep repeating the habit, even though the habit might be harmful. But you feel safer, stronger, when you repeat the habit, even though it might be harmful for you. Imagine. Okay? Because that strong groove in the mind gives you the sense of security, some kind of peace that you get out of doing things out of habit. Okay? So you need to be a little bit smarter now. Try to free yourself from the rut or the habit, negative habit of the mind, and create new good habit. Okay? So when you do the yoga practice, you do over and over the same sequence. Yeah? That's what you are doing. The meditation is the same meditation technique. So what you are doing is you are creating this new habit that is helpful. Okay? Instead of the habit of reaching out for a cigarette when you feel restless or not knowing what to do, or you feel nervous tension or whatever. So these are negative habits. You can reach out to a mantra. So that is a positive habit. So you can just switch. The mind still works with habit, but you switch into positive habit. Waking up in the morning, normally you just watch TV and then complain. Yeah. So now you wake up in the morning, you train your mind to sit and meditate. And so that is replacing the negative habit. Okay. So that is easy to do. Just switch the habit. So that's why we said when you meditate, you need to meditate same place, same time. When you eat same time. Okay? So when you are more calm, because you are more concentrated, then that roller coaster mind is up and down, will be more tempered. That means the roller coaster will not be so high. Yeah, the high will not be so high and the low will not be so low. The high and the low will not be so apart, so separated. So at that time you come closer to your goal of peace and happiness. Okay, so what is it? The practice is to reduce the swing, reduce the extreme tendency. An untrained mind is very extreme. It goes to this, I like this. If I don't have this, I will kill myself. Okay? Or the opposite. I really dislike this. If this person is in my life, I will kill them. It's a very opposite, very extreme. Yeah. So we have this up and down and up and down due to the emotional habit. Okay. So we need to bring the mind to that state of, we call equanimity or calmness. Yeah. Away from the attraction, away from the repulsion. So that means what? I mean, if you like something, don't like it too much. If you dislike something, don't dislike it too much. Yeah. Settle down for something that is more balanced. Okay. Then most likely you'll be able to go longer, yeah, with a balanced state of mind between the pairs of opposite. Because if you are just yielding to the mind tendency, then you would be dependent. Yeah. If there is something there or somebody there, then I'll be happy. If the person is not there, then I'll be unhappy. So you become dependent to the external object. Okay. So you need to train yourself to the point where you become free, independent from the conditioning, the extremes, the likes and the dislikes, or the attraction and repulsion tendency of the mind. Okay. So now the last point that already been said earlier, but repeated again, is remember, sensual pleasures are not happiness. Okay? It is not the object that is pleasant, but it is the mind that entertains the idea that is promising. Okay? All happens in the mind. And yoga teaches you to be the controller of your mind, to free you by controlling the mind. So you are the master of your mind. Okay? So if something gives you pleasure now, and it will not give you pleasure the next time, so the happiness that comes from the object doesn't belong from the object. Okay? Let's say if you are happy now eating the ice cream, and later on the same ice cream you eat again and it doesn't give you the same pleasure. So the pleasure did not come from the ice cream. It comes from your mind that is conditioned to think that ice cream gave me instant happiness. Okay? So we point out again and again that it's not in the senses, in the object of the senses, but it is in your mind. Or if something is pleasurable for you, but for somebody it is really dislikable. So it's not the object. Okay. So now you need to turn inward and try to focus your attention and try to build your muscle of the mind stronger and stronger, and becoming more and more stable. Okay. Remember that our mind is by nature addicted. What that means? The mind, when it thinks of something, it has tendency to be attached to it, to repeat itself. Okay. So you need to work with that tendency of the mind and switch it to something that is positive. So I will read a little bit from Swami Shivananda. And then we conclude. Swami Shivananda said in his book called Bliss Divine that sensuous life is not worth living. Sensual pleasure is like honey that is mixed with poison. One small portion of sensual pleasure is mixed with 15 portions of pain. So pleasure will always come with pain. Pain and pleasure are delivered in the same plate. Sensual enjoyment is attended with various defects, sins, pains, attachments, bad habits, mental restlessness. Indulgence in sensual pleasures destroys devotion and weakens the capacity of the mind to inquire into reality. Sensuality destroys life, strength, vitality, memory, wealth, fame, holiness, and devotion. So mundane life, that means that mundane means the life that lives externally, only in the world of the senses, as opposed to the inner life that is the life of self-awareness. So mundane life is full of sorrows, full of defects and weaknesses, full of hatred, jealousy, selfishness, anxiety, fights, quarrels, war, despair, and so on. The list is long. But what he's saying is try to lead an inner life. Even though it might be difficult in the beginning, but try to lead an inner life better than the external life. So to conclude, so this current situation of the world that actually make all of us have to change can be seen as a blessing in disguise. So you are not a victim, even though you might feel sometimes that you are the victim, because things you want to do, you cannot do. But you need to turn the gaze within and turn it into an opportunity for practice. And what kind of practice? You need to keep practicing detachment from our habits of looking for happiness in the wrong place. So this is the main practice. Detachment towards the habits of looking for happiness in the wrong place. So this situation forces us to push the reset button to relax, to detach, to turn within, and slow down the swing of the mind. It forces us to stop and to breathe and to stop running. So slow down the swing of the mind by becoming more calm, and slow down the pull of the senses that makes us blind. So the practice of yoga in all its forms shows you the path to true happiness. So may you practice daily and diligently to make the best out of this time. So the ashram here in Vietnam has a gentleman that is the gatekeeper, and a lady that is a cook, a certain age. And so now, because we cannot go in and out, so they have to stay here. And the gatekeeper cannot go home. He has his wife and his daughter, but he stay in the ashram. We give him a room and he stay here. And the cook stay here. And a few people that normally would not stay here, they will stay here. And I'm so happy because they start to practice yoga. Yeah, so they've been with us for many years. They never really practiced yoga. And now we teach a special class for them, gentle yoga class for them. Every day they practice yoga. So this is something new. So this is like an opportunity, something that can be adversity, but then it changes into something that is very positive. Okay, so there is many things like this. If you open yourself to. Now we are here, but we are very busy. We are busier than normal because we cannot be in a gathering, more than a certain number of people. So we have to be in small group, teaching a class very separate from each other in small group. So, and then we are very busy teaching online and finding way how to help people to focus, like teaching yantra, teaching mantra, and and I'm doing all this talk because this is the knowledge of yoga we teach to our students all the time. But now I feel that everyone is needed. It's like a big yoga class. The world become a big yoga class. And we have to teach. We have to teach the ABC of everything. The breathing, the relaxation, the concentration, and the meditation. So I'm very honored to be able to be here and talk like this. I'm very honored that you are there to listen. So please always share the satsang, the knowledge, as many people as possible. All these are being recorded. And there is also a text that we put also in our blog page in the Yoga Farm website. If you like to donate something, that would be wonderful because the ashram is closed and it has no income. So, but it's completely free and open. So please do pass it on as much as possible. And I see you next time. So next time this week, because I have to do other kind of preparation for the we call stress relief service that we offer to the world, the people that need stress, that need to talk to someone because they are stressed out. And then we have these people that are volunteer, about 50 to more people who join internationally to do the listening or the stress counseling. And so I had to prepare that. So next class will be something that I pre-recorded, and also very important topic. This next Thursday morning here is evening in our normal time in California and other places of the world. You have to figure it out, and we will announce the topic. So please join that. And then we would have another satsang, but this time will be on the weekend because some people want to be in the weekend at different time because some people have difficulty. They have to wake up very early I believe in Russia, you know, Yashoda has to be at 2 or 3 a.m. to do this, you know, translation. So then we would change the time, and it would be on at 8 p.m. for me. So it will be during the day for most of you in all the different portions of the world. Yeah, and it will be next, I believe next Sunday. Then okay, so we look forward to see you. And if you have any question, now we have a little bit 10 minutes today, 10-15 minutes, and you can ask question, and I'll be happy to answer.
Were you going to do something special on Easter, Swamiji?
Yeah, so that will be the Easter time. The Easter day will be the day that I will be talking in the Sunday, like get in the calendar, on a Sunday night here in Vietnam. That will be during the day of a Sunday, Easter Sunday. Okay. This white small
questions, you can type it into the Q&A box on the bottom of your screen.
So that's Easter Sunday on the 12th of April. Okay, so that for you will be during the day. And the topic will be, let me see, something about renewal and choices in time of transition, and how to turn adversity to opportunity.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, it's a very nice topic. I had to come up with that.
Okay, there's one question coming from the chat. He's asking about mental disorders that cause people to have a running mind. So some people are having bipolar disorder or attention deficit disorder.
Yeah. Well, it's more difficult, but there's yoga techniques that definitely will help. Yeah. So the relaxation will help, the breathing exercise will help, the asana, the moderate asana, not too extreme, because some people, they have this kind of mind because they are extremes, you know, maybe extreme emotions. See, that make the mind yo-yo and up and down a lot, and run a lot. So you have to be more patient, but there is nothing very complicated. Just try to help the person to do asanas every day, whatever kind of level. They can be very simple asana. They have to be maybe have a small group and lots of encouragement to be steady and not to give up. But if they can just keep doing that, it will regulate the mind, 100% sure. Regulate the breath, regulate the movement, regulate the relaxation, will regulate the mind. That's 100% sure.
There's another question. Someone is struggling with prioritizing yoga and meditation with all the work meetings, meal preps, homeschooling kids, and chores. Any suggestions for her?
Yeah. So when you feel overwhelmed, and your mind might be negative when you feel overwhelmed because you have to do this and do this and do this, but consider it to be an opportunity for practice of concentration. So don't allow your mind to go into the emotional mindset of being upset and negative thinking of feeling overwhelmed, but just say that this is an opportunity for me to practice and practice concentration and presence. So you can do it, and you find fun doing this. Yeah, and that's what the yogi life is always like that. We are juggling. Yeah, it's not like we are sitting and close eyes and meditating all the time. Yeah, we are juggling, but we are completely aware that it is a practice of concentration. And when you can practice concentration in every moment, then somehow the mind becomes positive.
Someone named Sushila is saying that her mother has corona. And as she goes through this, is there a certain mantra or practice to send her healing energy? Should she just do the Mahamrityunjaya mantra?
Yes, definitely. So keep repeating a lot and teach her also to repeat. Okay. So we say the prayers for her to feel stronger. And we say the prayers now for all the people that are sick, more and more people that are suffering. Really, it's like a big picture of suffering going on right now. So our prayers are needed. Yesterday in India, it's so nice that at the same time, the whole India at 9 p.m. is switching all the light off, and then everyone is putting a candle flame. And they go out in the street and put candle flame. So here we also tuning in. We also put a candle and we switch all the light off. And it's so nice because it's like a silent prayer of light. Yeah. So that's what we need. A silent prayer of light sent to everybody because we are all together, and whatever the collective karma we are in, yeah, we come out victorious if we keep ourselves, focused and devotional and calm, and help ourselves first and help all the people around us to be positive. It's very, very important. So we talk about positivity, bring about immunity. So we need to do this now. Okay.
There's a Chinese question. Do we want to take more questions or we're out of time?
So one question.
So I'm gonna unmute Chinese translator then.
Kumari.
Okay.
So there's a question if the nightmares triggers a lot of emotions and tension in the muscles, and how to deal with this when she's doing yoga. Is there any advice during about
Nightmares.
the emotions and muscle tensions triggered by the nightmares?
Okay. Thank you for asking the question. So that
谢谢
means
你
it's
问这
not,
个问题。
yeah, it's not just like we have negative feeling in our waking state, but our emotions can be affected, and then we can have nightmare. Our fear transferred into our night. Then what she's saying, and she's asking what to do. Then of course the yoga practice by stretching, the muscle, stretching the tension out by breathing, by comforting yourself with the breathing, and by the conscious relaxation and the trusting into the nature of the self, the nature of God, the nature of something that is the substratum or the bottom line of everything, that is that pure mirror of peace and happiness which is within you. If you can keep doing these yoga practices, the asana, the stretching, the relaxation, and building up the faith, then you keep seeing that pure mirror within you, then it will calm you in the conscious state, and it also calm you in your subconscious state of mind, which is reflected in the nightmare that you might have when you're sleeping. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Swamiji.
Okay, so now we together, we would say the prayer, okay? And I don't know the Om Namo Narayana chanting is already happening.
It already happened this morning.
It's already happening. Okay.
We did 5 a.m. this morning.
Oh, okay. So So once a month, the international organization tune everybody in to chant the Om Namo Narayana, chanting for peace. So you also can find out and you also can do it. Because more people together in the same wavelength, yeah, is better, is send a very powerful thoughts out. So that's why yesterday, you know, so millions of people are focusing on that candle flame is so powerful. It's silent, but it's so powerful. Okay, so please do this now, the prayer together, focusing on the people that are sick, the people that are struggling for the sick people, you know, the people, the medical personnel that is working very hard. And then focusing on the people that are at home, they're not sick yet, but they're mentally restless, focusing on the different area of the world, and focusing on your family and your loved one. And we all connected together. So we say the prayer. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtimadanam Urubao Kameva Bandanan Mrichua Mukshya Mamritam. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtimadanam Urubao Kameva Bandanan Mrichua Mukshya Mamritam. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtimadanam Urvao Kamiva Bandanan Mrichua Mukshya Mamritan. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So peace to you, peace to all those connected with you, and peace to the whole world. Health to you, health to all those people that are connected with you, and health to the whole world. So with gratitude, Om Bolo Satguru Sri Sivananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Bolo Sri Vishnu Devananda Maharaj Ki Jai. So thank you very much. So please find the recording and you can pass it on to others. And please look at this stress relief counseling service at the website, and you can let other people that need the service to know to register. Thank you. Om Namah Shivaya.